A young man was feeling depressed and hopeless about his life. He felt that he had no purpose, no direction, and no joy. He decided to end his suffering by jumping off a bridge. As he was about to leap, he saw an old man sitting on a bench nearby. The old man looked calm and serene, and he smiled at the young man. The young man felt a sudden curiosity and decided to talk to the old man before he killed himself. He approached the bench and asked, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?" "Sure, my son. What do you want to know?" The old man replied kindly, "I want to know how you can be so happy in this world. Don't you feel the pain of life? Don't you see the suffering and injustice everywhere? Don't you have any problems or worries?" The young man asked. The old man nodded and said, "Yes, I do feel the pain of life. I have seen many tragedies and hardships in my years. I have lost my wife, my children, and my friends. I have faced illness, poverty, and loneliness. I have many problems and worries, just like you. Then, how can you smile and be peaceful? How do you cope with the pain of life?" the young man asked. The old man smiled again and said, "My son, let me tell you a story. Once there was a Zen master who had a disciple. The disciple was very diligent and obedient, but he was always unhappy and dissatisfied. He complained to his master that he could not find peace in his mind. He said that he was tormented by his thoughts and emotions and that he could not escape from the pain of life. The master listened patiently and then said, "My dear disciple, I have a solution for you. I will give you a special task that will free you from your suffering. You must carry this sack of potatoes with you wherever you go. Every time you feel angry, sad, jealous, or resentful, you must put a potato in the sack. You must not take out any potatoes from the sack until I tell you to do so." The disciple agreed to follow his master's instructions. He took the sack of potatoes and started his journey. Every time he encountered a situation that triggered his negative emotions, he put a potato in the sack. He put a potato when someone insulted him, when someone betrayed him, when someone hurt him, when someone disappointed him, when someone ignored him, and so on. Soon, the sack became very heavy and bulky. The disciple had to drag it along with him wherever he went. It became a burden and an obstacle for him. He could not move freely or comfortably. He could not enjoy the beauty of nature or the company of others. He could not meditate or sleep well. He became more miserable and unhappy than before. After a few months, he returned to his master and begged him to take away the sack of potatoes. He said that he could not bear it any longer. He said that it was too heavy and too smelly. The master looked at him with compassion and said, "My dear disciple, do you see what you have done? You have carried the pain of life with you all this time. You have accumulated your negative emotions in your mind like potatoes in the sack. You have not let go of any of them. You have not forgiven anyone or anything. You have not accepted or transcended your pain. You have only made it worse by holding on to it. The pain of life is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. You can choose to let go of your pain or to carry it with you. You can choose to be free or to be enslaved by your pain. The sack of potatoes is a metaphor for your mind. If you want to find peace in your mind, you must empty it of all the potatoes that weigh you down. You must release your anger, sadness, jealousy, resentment, and other negative emotions that cause you suffering. You must forgive yourself and others for their mistakes and faults. You must accept the reality of life as it is, not as you wish it to be. You must transcend your pain by finding meaning and value in it. You must realize that pain is not your enemy but your teacher. Pain is not a punishment but a challenge. Pain is not a curse but a blessing. Pain is what makes you grow and evolve as a human being. Pain is what makes you appreciate and cherish life more. Pain is what makes you stronger and wiser. Pain is what makes you more compassionate and loving. Pain is what makes you more alive and aware. Pain is what makes you more human and divine. The young man listened to the story with awe and wonder. He felt a surge of hope and inspiration in his heart. He realized that he had been carrying his own sack of potatoes for too long. He realized that he had been creating his own suffering by clinging to his pain. He realized that he had a choice to make. He thanked the old man for his wisdom and guidance. He decided to let go of his pain and to embrace life with gratitude and joy. He decided to live and not to die. He threw away his sack of potatoes and walked away with a smile on his face. He felt lighter and happier than ever before. He felt the pain of life, but he did not suffer from it. He felt the pain of life, but he also felt the love of life.